is going on, people of the extranet? Tyler here with Random Automotive. I'm here with my little nephew. Say what's up, Noah.
What's up?
And we are actually heading to Central Alabama from Tennessee. It's about a 2-hour drive. We're about an hour and 15 minutes into it. We had to make one stop because the front valance on the truck started falling off, and so we had to fix that. Anyway, so we are currently just outside of Decatur, Alabama, driving the S10, and we're actually going to pick up possibly a 1964 Ford Mustang 5-speed. It's got the inline six in it. So hopefully it goes good, and we'll let you know. But we're just having a night trip here. We decided to leave out kind of late. It's like 4:30 in the afternoon. And then on the way back, we're actually not going to take the interstate just because you know how that goes. And you know, this truck, it likes to do like 65 tops. So it might take us a few hours to get home, and we're going to just document the whole process. So let's get started. So it's the next morning. We did the right thing and stayed at the Holiday Inn Express. So we got the car and trying to figure out how to get over there to it. Where's that side? Oh, the sidewalk's over here. So we got the car, and we're going to show it off to you now. So last night we were going to try to drive it home in one setting, and it ended up pouring down rain, and the car has no defrost, and it was rather sketchy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we're hitting the road early this morning. We're gonna check the fluids, top her off with gas, and get going. Alrighty, this is her 1965 Ford Mustang with the 200 inline 6-cylinder. Nothing fancy, but she's ready to go. She's really clean, actually. You know, it's old, but there's no leaks. Come around this side of the valve cover, dry as a bone. Oil's nice color. So I think we're pretty much good to hit the road, try to hit the highway today. That radiator cap's about 57.5 million years old. Ugh. She's got the red on gold paint flavor. We got half a headlight, and we are going to hit the road. New tires. Kind of go around it really quickly. New tires. The back window, or the front window, leaked a little bit in the floor. That's fine. Mileage reads, I don't know if it's right, 91977. And I don't think it's 100,000. It's probably about 90,000. Back end's in decent shape. One little ding, two little dings. And the windows are more fogged up than Saturday morning. I don't know what that means, but sure. So we've been on the road for about an hour now. No problems at all, really. We've used about $5 or $6 in gas, which is pretty good. The temp gauge doesn't work, but I don't have any reason to believe it's overheating. The fuel gauge doesn't work. That's great. The speedometer doesn't work. That's great. Nothing really noticed. There's a little bit of a gas leak out of the fuel leak out of the fuel pump. It's not really bad enough that I'm worried about it. It's just moist, and so we're gonna deal with that. We may look at it, but I think it's okay right now. But for now, we'll keep it going. She tried to run a little hot on us for a minute. I don't really know where it's leaking from. I saw a little bit of a drip. The radiator's still full. I saw a little bit of drip on the water outlet, so I'm thinking that's what it is. So we let her cool down for a minute. The temperatures dropped back down, so we're going to let her do that and see what happens. But so far, not too bad, all things considered. She's driving great. We're going on the highway at 55, as scary as it is, and everything is going good. What do you think? Little problem, not too bad, but she is running a little warm. So we're going to let her get a break, cool down, top her off, and then take her to the next town and probably do the same thing. We're about 150 miles in. And about 60 to go. So we'll keep an eye on it. All right, so we're on the last leg of the trip. We've got about 30-40 more minutes to go. We're getting back up north. It's getting colder and it's cloudy. We're gonna check the coolant level. I'm gonna toss the camera off here. Got the hoodie up, because why not? Come with us. We're going to, I never can find this. So it's leaking. It looks like it's leaking a drop, actually. It's really good. I turned the heat on, and I think that's what helped it cool down a little bit. Ooh, just a little hot. Don't do as I do, just say as I say. It's good. She is topped off in a murky green. Look off in there with that camera. You know, a murky green colored nonsense, but she probably could use a new radiator, but honestly, she don't leak. So we are going to finish this leg of the trip up with about 30 more minutes. Alright, so we're probably within the last 15 miles of the trip. It is definitely colder outside up this way, but so far so good. Fuel light works, that's great. No speedometer, so we're using GPS, and temperature stayed good. I hadn't seen any more leaks from that spot, so I think it was just where we were really pushing it, doing like 60 down the highway. We'll have to get it replaced, but I think it'll be good for now, and we'll see you when we go stop. Alrighty, well, we got her home mostly problem-free. The brakes, the motor, the engine, everything did good. As you can see, though, she is leaking coolant, and she is leaking it pretty bad. Let me show you really quick. Hang on. Oh. Let me show you what's going on. It's a pretty common problem. As you can see, this hose actually looks pretty new, and this water outlet is pretty new. And sometimes I've noticed with these aftermarket water outlets, either, I don't know if they don't get bolted on the head good enough, or what really happens, but it's dribbling down there and it's just leaking out there. But not a big deal. That's probably a $25 fix for something otherwise. That's why it was overheating on the way. Otherwise, if we take a look at it kind of in depth really quick, there's not much here. It's pretty crazy just how empty it is under here. I love it. So Ford 200 inline 6, all original, as you can tell. There's nothing fancy about it at all. Only thing you got down here is an alternator and a water pump. No fan clutch, of course. This looks like it's probably the original radiator. If it's not, it's really old anyway. Normal battery, screw-in side terminals. Got 58.5 wires coming off of that. Motor mounts look like they've seen better days. Notice that massive starter down there. I guess you'd need that to turn that 200 over. It's a torquey little motor. Starter solenoid, pretty simple. You got your ignition coil here. You've got over in the corner, you've got your steering shaft down below. You've got your clutch cylinder on top of that right here. And you've got your brake cylinder. There are no power brakes. Fuel pump. Just an inline fuel pump, motor driven, mechanical driven. I noticed that this was just the slightest bit damp when I looked at it early on. I did the right thing and just ignored it, but I'll be honest with you, I don't know if this was repainted or if, I'd say it probably was, and this is something you may have to answer me. These spark plug wires got blue paint on them, so I don't know if this was repainted or this is the original spark plug wires on this. I don't think it is, though. It doesn't look quite like it would be. Definitely has had the Motorcraft oil filter. It's got a clear inline fuel filter. I've had quite a bit of folks tell me that you don't want to use those because for whatever reason, it's just not a good idea. And I agree, but I do like seeing what's happening with the fuel. Got a couple of ignition parts here in coal, and that's pretty much it. You can tell, of course, I don't know if you could tell by the paint scheme, but she has been repainted, and you can see it there underneath the hood where they painted it. Otherwise, though, she's pretty solid. Let's take a look underneath. So underneath, you can see, got new floor pans. Looks like new brake lines there. Output shaft of the transmission is a little damp. You can see the exhaust, and you know it's coated with asbestos or something other under here. But relatively clean underneath. I'm pretty happy with it. Here's a few examples of the scratches or whatever that was repainted. Little bubble here. We'll go to the interior in a minute. It is dirty in there. We drove this thing, like I said, like 4 hours. We were in this thing today. Paint scheme's a little weird. It's a ketchup and mustard theme going on. Standard Ford taillights, Ford Mustang taillights. It's probably one of the worst spots of the body right there. She's scuffed up. Someone's definitely used some caulking or something. This thing does have some leaky windows, let me tell you. I found that out the hard way. She's got dual exhaust tips. And in the trunk, I've got all the junk from our trip. Pay no mind there. But you can see the floor pan underneath. Best we can tell, she's solid, she's there. Body panels are good. The spring in the back looks great. Looks like it was coated. You can see it's not the red color of the interior. It's a really easy brake bulb to get to. I'm kind of surprised. Relatively simple there. They got a mat down here and some funky fuel sending unit action going on there. We're going to pretend like we didn't see. Let's close her up. Walk around the other side. Random piece of wood sticking there. Guess that was supposed to keep it from rolling back. Maybe it's a little bit of Bondo-ish stuff going on here. I don't know. That would probably clean up. But maybe something weird happened there. The good thing about this car, minus the paint scheme, it's original. So yeah, it's not going to be the prettiest. You can see the rims are bleh underneath, but you can see the door inland panels. They're just dirty. This door is locked. I'll come around this side. Got a nice secure mirror. Aftermarket antenna, clearly. I'm not too sure that this did not have the original wipers on it when we got it yesterday. There were chrome pieces like this arm. Actually, I think what it was is somebody bought the decorative arms that had the wiper on it. Well, they were just garbage, so we did get some. Took us a little while to figure out how those work, but they work, just electric wipers. Windshield leaks like no tomorrow. This is some faux chrome trim right here. We may redress that up. We did it on the wagon a while back just to kind of give it a little pop. You can see it's coming separated in a few spots, so we may clean that up a little bit. Window seals are good and intact, but they do leak, and I think it's just where the window makes contact. The metal fin down here, good and solid. Quarters are solid. One little chip of rust down here on the door. That is definitely not the worst. It's got some original badging. That's very loose. We're gonna have to keep it. Sorry, it's very loose. We're gonna have to keep an eye on that. Then come around front, and it's your standard 60s Mustang in the front, early 60s Mustang. Faux fins there. Solid metal. Let's take a look at the inside. So bear with me here. She's dirty. You can see I've got stuff all in it. Seat materials, I'm going to say they were probably redone, but I could be wrong. They're not comfortable at all. The foldaways work, but they are solid if I don't break them now. Let me turn this light on in here. Obviously an aftermarket dome light. This is most likely an aftermarket headliner kit. The seats are good. What I think probably happened, just being honest with you, is you can buy a whole kit for like $2,000 to redo your interior, redress it up, and I think that's probably what happened. If we take a look on the inside here, I did turn the headlights on. You can see the dash pad is sagging in a couple of places. It's a little saggy there. It's kind of somewhat attached there. That's a relatively easy fix. No steering lock. You don't get that. That's not the original steering wheel. I might look into getting the original one back in it. Turn signal stock is just like that one over there. It has seen better days. The ignition, everything works there. Blower motor doesn't work. Guy said it did. It doesn't. We're going to have to get us an ashtray. The radio does not work. Obviously aftermarket radio, but when we would hit a bump, it would come on. And when we would, but most of the time it stayed off. I guess these are your horn wires. Obviously some aftermarket pedal attachments there. One thing I noticed yesterday when it was raining is water was dripping right here, right onto the floor. So this floor is probably wet. If we feel a bit closer to the pedals, yep, it absolutely is. So we're gonna have to address that. There's probably a drainage issue up here. No big deal. Switches are there. They are a little loose. You got your interior illumination. You can see there's a light down there. It's being magnified a little bit more than it should be. But that is one of the backlights for the gauges. No speedometer. It does not work. The coolant temperature gauge, when it ran hot, the highest it got in the middle, and it was hot. It was on up there. And then I'm not going to start it because of the coolant leak right now, but you guys have seen it run enough. If I put the key in, if I find the key here, you can see that the fuel gauge will jump up to half. That is not accurate exactly. It is actually not really working at all. It's got almost a full tank of gas in it. So we drove 200 miles at about $22 worth of gas, which is really good. You also notice when we hit the turn signal, you can see the bulbs blinking back there, but it is not there. Of course, non-canceling turn signals there. Relatively straightforward. It's a 3-speed manual. One thing to get used to is the pattern's a little funny. I don't know if you can tell, but it's reverse 1, 2, 3. I'm used to being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or I'm sorry, reverse. So, yeah, you don't want to accidentally put this in reverse. That'd be a bad day. I about did it about 7 times. Visors look good. I think there's supposed to be some sort of clip these go on, but it is what it is. And then your standard glove box there. So it's relatively simple. Back window rolls down somewhat. Seats in good shape. The door panels are in good shape. I am wore out, and this will be the end of this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up. I promise you we're going to have material on this because we've got to, one by one, not in a rush, we've got to get this taken care of and get it back on the road. Well, it's on the road. It's good, minus the coolant leak. That's an easy fix. But we will get it going again and have it looking even better than it already does. It's not that bad as it is, especially for what we paid for it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and until then, we'll catch you in the next one.